Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where my incompetence knows no bounds. So we lucked out, I think, in getting this situation, but I'm kind of throwing it, I think. Like, we're struggling currently. I think we should potentially... We really need to take this. This will last less than a day. These guys are retreating back to here. We did take this back. That's good. Okay, that's exactly the pattern I want them to take. So I'm going to try not to touch anything. This right here is linking up. That's good. This is linking up as well. So that's, I think, an ideal scenario. So I'm just going to let the generals handle this, I hope. I hope the generals will handle this. Now, as far as this goes, we're massively oversupplied here. There's no doubt about that. That is to say, we need more supplies. But I'm also interested in putting some fighters in here to at least get us some air superiority. We'll put in some jet fighter 2s, and I'll bump this up. We're going to have 1,000 of them here. Air superiority over Brazil. And the reason I'm doing air superiority here is we can see Free India has quite a bit of close air support, as does Netherlands, and several others. So we've already got some close air support going in there. Now, we don't have an airbase over here, do we? Oh, we actually do, technically. I'm not convinced that that airbase will last too much longer, though. At least not in our hands for now. We need to get these guys... We need to get these guys pushed out of here. And it looks like we're winning this for right now. I think they're actually withdrawing. Yeah, they're actually withdrawing. That's a huge deal for us. I'm incredibly happy to see this. They are definitely withdrawing. Okay. That's a good sign. Over here, this is kind of just in stalemate. That's fine. I'm going to tell this guy... Let's see, he's currently executing on a balanced manner. I'm going to tell him to carefully execute. I don't want to provoke anything over here. Over here, of course, we are currently in an aggressive manner. But that's what we want. Actually, these guys are heading back in. Okay. Well, we're making some progress here, actually. Kemshadal's joined the alliance of the Ming Empire. I mean... That is, what, these guys over here? I forget where exactly that is. But it's not actually a huge... Oh, that's these guys, isn't it? No. That's us. I've forgotten where Kemshadal's is, but yeah, that's not hugely surprising, and also not hugely important to us right now, anyway. I want to check in on our repair status over here. We gotta make sure that our infrastructure is staying repaired here. These in Iceland and Greenland, Northeast England, I'm not too interested in those. I think that's completely fine as is. However, I do want to build infrastructure down here. Okay, so as far as this goes, we are definitely making progress here. We're currently looking at pocketing these 3, which is a very big deal for us. That is a tremendously big deal for us, in fact. Now, these guys are walking this way, so that will likely cut that off. But that said, this appears to be going well for us. This over here, we should be able to hold this in defense, I think, but we've got such a big deficit of supply here. I definitely want to make sure that we are getting this infrastructure repaired to help out with that. It looks like our previous bottleneck is currently the port in Rio de Janeiro. That is fair enough. We need to open this up, though. And the first step to that is securing this line. We have succeeded here in pocketing these guys, so we should be able to deal with this. We're likely to be seeing additional forces coming in over here, though, any time now. So that's a thing. Okay, well, this is looking reasonably fine. We have these guys pocketed. They won't last forever. if we look at this, we can see, yeah, they're losing. So that's perfect. We're going to get this under control, and we're going to push up to this line, and then we're going to look at unifying our front here. Because we're going to have Army Group 3 take this same position. That's the plan. Now, we do have some supply issues over here. That is 100% correct. But it's not as bad of a supply issue. So that's the thing. And yeah, we've got these guys totally pocketed at this point. So I'm quite happy to see that. Wonder if Brazil downsized their military after we got kicked off of the continent or something. I don't know if the AI does that. That would be a weird thing for it to do, I would think. We need to switch over to heavy tank 2s, though. And so we shall. Excellent. We do currently have some free military factories. I kind of want to switch this over to another heavy tank 2 line. Same with this. Like, I want more tanks. Excellent. Okay, so it looks like we have successfully wiped these guys out over here. We're going to be grabbing this VP, and then we're going to push up to here, which of course does not include... Oh, it does include a naval base. Okay, so that's very, very good for us. We need those naval bases. Well, I'm okay with pushing up. Japanese troops have begun to arrive over here. Okay. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about it. They're not over here yet, which is the more important thing for us. Here's a victory point getting taken. And we're just going to keep pushing this at this point. Look how slow we move, though. Blitzkrieg, this is not. Excellent. So I'm perfectly okay, as I said, with a stalemate over here. I'm not concerned about that. I do want to link this up so that we can start spreading out our supplies here. That would be a very, very good thing to do. Then ideally we'd push like to a line like this and then just push up towards their capital. But at some point we have to get more supplies. That's all there is to it. I really wish Hearts of Iron 4 had a way to increase naval supply throughput on a per naval base level basis. That would be a very nice thing to have. Hey, look! A Brazilian troop. Well, here they come. They're starting to show up. I'm not hugely surprised by this, of course. It was only a matter of time. Even if they did, for some reason, downsize their military or something. I have no idea how the AI even behaves in this game. So, that's exciting stuff. We are, of course, going to get ourselves additional iron. We will be needing it. We're currently in a big steel deficit. So that's good. Now, if we look at our supply here, we can see our supplies are now, all of a sudden, much, much better here. And we're beginning to push up into this state. So that is magnificent for us. Our supplies here are dreadful, but that's to be expected. I want to check in on our current infrastructure situation. We should begin constructing infrastructure over here, and we should also repair infrastructure, and just repair everything, honestly. Even the stuff up in Iceland. These guys, they are going to be heading into this unit right here, which really should have a commander. Do we have a commander for it? Not currently. We'd have to create one. In fact, we could do that. We'll just create a new commander, and we'll put him in charge. Excellent. So we are punching through these light tank brigades. That's good to see. I wonder what happens if we tell this guy to start getting aggressive. We'll do so once we have pushed up to this line, I think. For now, I just want to hold here. Are we retreating from this location? We are. Okay, well, there's my answer. That tells us all we need to know about that particular plan. Good to know. These guys are continuing to advance. which is a good sign for us, to be sure. We're retreating to here. Okay, how are we repositioning here? We're collapsing up here. We may want to end up yielding this. I don't know. The major problem is if we relocate these guys over here, then we're going to have even more supply issues. I think we just try to hold out here as long as we possibly can and hope that these guys can come to our aid. If these guys end up falling back, they are going to fall back. There's not enough supply throughput in that region. That's all there is to it. If these guys decided to come attack us down here, we would probably end up in a stalemate, is my guess. Now, we have 2 supply regions here, or we will have 2 supply regions here, which is going to be a very big deal for us. Local infrastructure. Okay. Noted. Let's check in on our construction that we can potentially do over here. Rio de Janeiro, we can do that, I suppose. That'll be fine. And yeah, this is just totally collapsing up here. At this point, we should probably... Well, I mean, these guys were all pretty much going to be lost anyway. I kind of want them to absolutely hold here as long as possible, though. But they're kind of sacrificial at this point. I want to keep pushing up here. We have to get into a second supply region. If we can push this across this line, that's going to be huge for us. And we have pushed them. These guys are, I believe, retreating. Yes, they are. And reinforcements have shown up. Okay. We're pushing in here, though. And we're winning this battle as well. These guys are pocketed. But honestly, at this point, I'm going to tell him to aggressively attack. Be like, look, you got to do something. If you're just going to sit here and take this, this isn't going to work. These guys are dead. That was expected. Okay. That's fine. They're a distraction for this front. We really want to push this. Really badly. Now, supply-wise, it's 148 out of 72. Technically, it's about the same supply-wise. I keep trying to do that to get out of this map mode. It keeps not working. Okay. We're making some progress on this front. This front, of course, is collapsing. I'm going to go ahead and assign these guys, or rather these guys, into this army. Okay, that's 15 out of 24. I'm also going to assign, let's see here, we need 5, we need 9 total. I'm going to assign these infantry divisions into this army. We're going to pull out. We're going to see if we can't get out of here. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. But we got to push into here. Battle will last less than a day, but they keep shuffling in fresh troops. It's part of our problem there. I think, anyway. Are we crossing a river here? We might be. Regardless, we do have 2 naval bases here, which is a big deal for us. Oh, and we have this air base. We should definitely be utilizing this. Let's put in some jet fighters. Let's bump this up to, looks like 700 is approximately the number that it needs, and we will have them be on air superiority up here. Okay. So we're shuffling some troops out of here. That's fine. Not concerned about that. We're going to hold that as best we can. These guys, they're not going to get assigned right away, actually. I'm not sure where they're going to go just yet. I keep hoping that we're going to actually get some breakthrough here. But it isn't happening. Not currently, anyway. Oh, we're so close. Oh, we actually broke through here. we may actually get into this supply zone, which is a huge deal for us. Absolutely tremendously huge deal. Yeah, it looks like we're in the supply zone. Oh, not quite. These guys managed to get in. We're so close, though. We are incredibly close to pushing in there. Now, as far as this goes, this is pretty much a lost cause. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and their new offensive line will simply be something like that. And he will go ahead and execute that. Actually, no, he won't. Just hold this as best you can. Don't exhaust supplies attacking, just use them defending for now. Oh man, we were so close to making it in here. We do have additional assault divisions coming in, though. Okay. Well, with the fresh troops coming in here, we're, of course, cycling our troops back and allowing them to supply and then going back in. However, that did restart, I think, our progress on getting in here. Well, maybe not. This may actually be overwriting that. Okay. Well, this is going to be potentially a lengthy process. Okay. And yeah, we are definitely taking hits over here. Let's go ahead and cycle these guys into just this single army. And in fact, we do not need to have the army group anymore. Let's just get him on out of there. Excellent. And honestly, I kind of just want to have all of these guys retreat to here. Just get out of there. And we'll see if we can maybe do something about that. Like, maybe we should just assign them over here. If we can get that second supply zone, I think it's fine. And that does, of course, mean that we can assign this guy straight into there. Excellent. Yeah, they're definitely starting to shift troops. Brazil has finally shown up. Okay. Fair enough. I'm not super surprised that Brazil has shown up at this point. However, we are working on Heavy Tank 3, which should give us a fair amount of breakthrough with our armored divisions, in theory. I want to check in on our current construction status. Iceland and Greenland, that's fine. And actually, these are two separate supply zones, aren't they? Or at least they should be. Well, they're separate states. They're not technically separate supply zones. Okay. Noted. Regardless, we still have 72 throughput for our supplies here, which is better than we had previously. We're still going to have some supply issues here, though. I think there's no doubt about that. We do have some close air support in here right now. That's fine. How are we actually doing on air superiority here? We require more supply in the strategic region. Who would have thought? I'm really struggling with the supply mechanics in this game, honestly. I really, really am. The major problem is how to get more supply for these invasions. That's the real question. And I mean, yeah, this is a lost cause up here. That's to be expected. Okay, Naval Bomber 3, that's all well and good. Let's grab Heavy Fighter 3. Because, yeah, the supply is extremely restrictive. And we definitely don't want to add any additional troops over here. Because of supply reasons. These guys are all in the same position right now. Okay, they're currently moving. That's good. Because I don't want them to all be in the same position. So that's good. Please do move. And we should probably execute in a balanced manner now. I don't think there's any point in aggressively executing this at this time. Like, just let the supplies build up if we have to, if we can. I find it very odd that this is all one supply region. But okay, I guess it is. I really don't understand how the logistics in this game works. I've tried researching it, and I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, how you're supposed to supply these. Very strange. As far as anything else here goes, I mean, Heavy Tank 3, getting these upgrades for it, I think will be very good. Currently, I suppose we could get Heavy Tank Destroyers and SP Artillery. Are these different equipments? I think they might be. At which point, we should probably grab, like, maintenance companies. That's something that we didn't have that I kind of wished that we did, because we're supposed to have some in our armored divisions. So that's probably something we should do. Man, I'm bad at this game. I just can't get over how bad at this game I am. Okay, so resistance strength is relatively strong here. There's Heavy Tank 3 finishing up. Now, I do actually want to... Actually, we could grab modern tanks. And so I shall. Okay, this next one that we want to grab is probably going to be in Air Doctrine. Yeah, let's just go for... Air Superiority would be nice. Let's just work our way down this way. We do have Heavy Tanks 2 in production. We should switch those to Heavy Tank 3s. Like so. Excellent. Okay, let's check in on our repairs that need to happen. Actually, that's completely fine. No concerns there. Okay, so they've finally shown up to this front. We did manage to get some territory here. That said, I kind of feel like these guys... I feel like they're not helping. I want them to actually fall back here. If we can get over to this naval base. I want them to fall back here because I'm actually just going to pull them out for right now. And once we get more supply capability over here, then we can look at doing that. But for right now, we really can't have additional supply here. So we've got this territory, but the question is, what do we do with it? And without additional supply, I'm not entirely sure how we're supposed to utilize it. That said, I am interested in potentially increasing our Special Forces cap, although this is just acclimatization gain, but that's fine for now. Okay, so these guys are on their way over, and I just want to move them over to this naval base or something. I really wish we could do it without them all being at the naval base. Like, queue it up. That would be a very convenient thing for them to add. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. So we will just slowly ooze our way over to the naval base, and these guys have a lot of troops here. It's Chickasaw that has the troops there. I can't help but notice we're abandoning this victory point. Okay, we do have troops on the way over. Good. They are covering that. I was very concerned about that for a moment there. So the question is this actually a river here? It's very hard to tell, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's not, in fact. Well, they're taking attrition. Okay, there we go. Those troops are there. Fantastic. These guys are going to get moved out of this state as soon as we can. I don't want these guys here because they are taking up supplies. So let's cycle them out of here just as soon as we can. Eventually they'll get there. And I wonder if this is going to be a go button for them to try to push us out of here. We'll see. Oh man, these guys are so slow. I'm going to bump it up to speed 5 just while we wait for these guys to get here. Excellent. These overseas supplies, though, they are tough to deal with. There's no doubt about that. Okay, let's get these guys over to, say, a naval base. It doesn't really matter where. Over to here. Get out of there, guys. Excellent. And then we can move these unassigned divisions into there for now, temporarily. How many do we have? Just the 2? Sounds good. Well, we're back to a stalemate. I feel like the AI did something particularly dumb to let us get to this point. They outnumber us, at least on this flank. How are we doing logistically here? 198 out of 72. Okay, so our local naval bases limit to 60 supply. So this is the question that I have in these scenarios. So, like, for example, they have 140 supply here. Because they're not utilizing naval bases. They're connected to their capital. Can you change your capital in this game? Out of curiosity. I don't know if we can, although that would be hilarious if we could. This is our occupied territories, our subjects. I'd be a little surprised if we could change our capital over here, but it would be honestly kind of ideal if we could. Because supplies flow from your capital, and the reason we're limited over here, of course, is because there are only the 2 naval bases here. Now, could we theoretically build additional naval bases? I don't know. Could we? That's something I would be interested in checking out. Let's see, that's a naval dockyard. Yes, you can construct naval bases. We've already got a level 10 naval base here. Maximum level reached already or no slots available. However, aha! Have I discovered it? I may have discovered it. I'm an idiot for not discovering it until now, but high priority on that. High priority on that. Get that going. Hopefully, we get these constructed. It takes how long to build a level of naval base? Looks like it takes about a month. Okay, let's get that underway. Hopefully they don't attack before this month happens. It is, however, time to put a cut in here. But now that I have that figured out, I feel like that was a major breakthrough for me. I feel like that was an absolutely huge breakthrough. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time, where I think we may have this under control.